Hey there folks, this is GreenXI, welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 151. In the last episode, they all went back to the Child Consultation Centre again, but this time they went in like a group of 25 kids. I think it was the whole school, I think, as well as Che, the teacher, and she helped them along a little bit. So it seemed to be a bit more progressive, a little bit at least, because the manager went there to the meeting and everything. But at the end of it, there was nothing certain still set. So then they went and grabbed loads more people from Angel Mode, from the baseball team, from various places. So let me just move the mic a bit. There we go. And yeah, so this time I'm trying to make the lag happen less often at least. And this time I'm experimenting instead of with frame rates with playing it in window mode, which you probably can't tell a difference in terms of the screen size or anything like that, I don't think. So I'm doing that, and I've changed the resolution as well. So fingers crossed, it works this time. Let's get going. That night, I attended a meeting for the Watanagashi Festival Committee. Everyone assembled at the meeting room in the Fude Shrine. I'd seen the building a few times, but I hadn't actually been inside before. There were pictures depicting the history of the dam conflict on the wall. According to Mion, this assembly building had been used as the headquarters of the dam protest back in the day. There was a huge flag that said Onikafuchi Guardians hanging on the wall. People had written messages on it. I'd been called to the meeting so I could introduce myself. While I'd been chosen to the host of the auction several days ago, this was my first time actually attending a meeting. There were about 30 committee members in the room, and my dad and I were introduced to them. Since I'm still a minor, I had to bring them along with me. I'd often heard the term parental rights recently because of Satoko's situation, and because of that, I'd been thinking about the relationship between me and my dad. The Maebara family is a happy one, I think. I'm blessed to have parents like them. Hello, I'm Kaiichi Maebara. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'm very nervous. But I'll do my best. Here. You do your best, young man. Their friendly smiles and applause made me realise again how welcoming people are in this village. I felt pressured as I thought about how big of a responsibility I was going to undertake at the festival. Since I looked so nervous, the leaders of the committee all came up to me and said that I could just act natural and do my thing. Thank you for offering my son such an important position. I'm sorry that I'm unable to participate in council activities due to my job, but I'll do what I can to support my son. Clap, 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 clap. My dad must be used to making speeches. Alright then, we'll break up into groups and start the meeting. It's going to last until 8:50 PM. Please begin your discussions as soon as you can. The festival committee can be broken up in different teams, like a general affairs team, construction team, a refreshment booth team, and a ceremony team. Each team has separate meetings. My dad and I were told to join the event team. But after all, we joined toward the end without knowing anything, and the festival was next Sunday too. I didn't understand anything they were saying, and I couldn't even express any opinions anyway. Nodding and pretending to participate in the proceedings was the most we could do. Near the end, I finally got the information about the auction I needed. I found out what time I was supposed to be backstage, and other stuff about my job like that. They asked me what I was going to wear. I stopped short. I thought I could just wear my regular clothes, but they suggested that I should wear something more flashy, since I was the host of the event. Makes sense? But I don't have any clothes like that. How about a suit with a bow tie? That'll make you look like a real MC. The bow tie? That's embarrassing. I want to wear something more casual than that. How's the meeting going, Kai-chan? What you talking about? What you doing? They're talking about what he's going to wear during the auction. If you don't have anything flashy to wear, I can get you something like that. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Kaiichi's father. Dad, I don't trust him to get me proper clothes. I'm sure he won't get me anything for men. A bow tie is fine. I'll just wear that. If I didn't compromise on that, Ivy and Mion would try and make me wear something outrageous. She'd also want me to wear women's clothes. A tutu? Oh. You're part of the committee too, huh? Which team are you on? He's on the general affairs team, where he's in charge of the first aid. We always ask for his help since he's a doctor and all. I guess that makes sense. They could have that spicy food. You know. All I have to do is give band-aids to people who trip and fall. That's alright. It's an easy job. For the most part, I'm just drinking beer under the main tent. It's nothing compared to your work, Maebara-san. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm gonna drink barley tea with him too. Nipa. What is barley tea? I always hear the term around, but I don't really know what it is. I mean barley leaves, but I don't know what they're like. You absolutely cannot, Fude-san. Oh, that's booze. Oh, good evening, Mayabara-kun. Nice to see you too, Mayabara-san. Ah, hello, ma'am. Ma'am? Thank you for being so nice to my son all the time. Mayabara-kun, are you ready for the auction? I'm looking forward to seeing your show. It felt weird to see Chie-sensei and the principal outside of school. I'd love to see the principal outside of school, but I don't see him inside of school, so you know. Rika-chan, you're performing a dance at the festival, right? I heard so right after my show. Looking forward to it. It's a traditional ceremony that she's performing. I'm sure you're nervous about it, huh? How do you feel this year? If there were cutscenes in this game, I bet Rika's dance would be one of them. It's such a big event for such a small village. I'm used to it now, so I'm fine. You've only done it once last year, but you're already used to it? I'm impressed. Mayabara-san? It's been a while. Oh, since Mahjong. Oh, Ooishi-san. It's nice to see you. Have you been practicing the Tsubami Gaishi? Couldn't say it last time, can't say it now. We should play together. You won't get better unless you play every day, you know. You know how to play Mahjong, Mayabara-kun? Oh, he knows how to play, doesn't he? He's a pretty good player too. Perhaps we really should start playing Mahjong in our club now. Could do. We should go crush every Mahjong parlour in the city. Ooishi-san thinks I'm an experienced player since I was practicing Tsubami Gaishi the other day. Why do people misunderstand me all the time? By the way, Mayabara-kun, I heard about your case. What case? About what you plan to do tomorrow evening. A few of my staff members and I are going to be there as well. Takano-san and Tomitaki-san are coming too. We can't bring that many people, but I hope you'll let us join you. Adults. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Every person counts. Irie? I'm sorry that we can't do much to help her, but we still want to do something. This is what Takano-san suggested. Takano? Yes. She wanted to help somehow. She feels bad that she wasn't able to assist you the other day. Oh, are you talking about that rumour? The one saying that Mayabara-san's become the leader of a protest group or something? Ha! Even you know about it? You know about Sadako? Of course he does. He's very sensitive to rumours inside the village. It's only my job. I'm very aware of what's going on with Sadako-san. Ooishi-san, what do you think about her case? Ooishi-san is, after all, a police officer. Could he maybe have an option other than going to the child consultation centre? I also think that going to the consultation centre is the smartest thing to do. Then you're also saying there's no way to save her before something happens? We'd probably do the same. We'd meet with him, tell him not to harm her. I'm sure a professional social worker can do a better job than that though. They take care of these abuse situations better than the police can. The police only take action after something happens, but the child consultation centre can make a move before it does. Ha! It'd be a lot easier for us if we could arrest criminals before they commit crimes. Yeah, I guess. However, we need to be very careful about whom we arrest, you know. We don't want to lose our jobs. In that sense, there's nothing wrong with them saying that they want to wait and see for a while. Meep. I don't think the child consultation centre has been unreasonable. However, it must seem terrible from the point of view of those who know Sadako-san and Tepe-san. Ooishi-san was exactly right. They must be assuming that we're overreacting by making such a big fuss. They did say that in the meeting. It's only been a couple of days since he took her away. But that mindset can create huge problems. I'm sure they're going to call him tonight, because we told them that she's been missing school for 3 days. They'll ask him why she hasn't gone to school. Tepe might beat her up for that. I don't know. However, if he continues to keep her at home after the phone call, the child consultation centre will probably make a move. I think they'll talk to him about it, so she might come to school tomorrow. That's possible. Tepe can't stay in Okinamaya for some reason. That's why he needs to stay at Sadako's house. I'm sure he doesn't want any further trouble. He can't stay in Okinamaya for some reason. Ha, that's right, for some reason. I heard that he had some kind of money-related trouble. You don't know about that, Sonzaki-san? I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, Mion? There's a reason he wants to stay in Sadako's house. Oh yeah. Tepe has money issues, so he can't live in Akanamaya anymore. Remember in that one tip where Tepe wanted to find the bank book or something? He's hiding out in Hinamizawa until the trouble brews over. Then he should hide somewhere alone. Why would he try and drag Sadako-chan into this? Slave. You want Sadako as your maid, right? It's the same thing. Oh shit. No! That's not right. Maids are about love. There's love behind my desires. I'm totally against violence. A master should treat his maid with love. Let's just ignore that pervert for a moment. So Ooishi-san, you think there's no choice but to let the Child Consultation Center take care of it? I think that's the most realistic plan. There are certain steps that you need to follow. When you take a piss, you go to the toilet, pull down your zipper. If you don't follow those steps, it ends in disaster. Oh, I bet it does. That's a gross way to put it. You disgusting old man. I'm sorry, I can't help you. But I do find Sadako-san's case unfortunate. I hope that everyone gets to have a happy ending. The Child Consultation Center is going to make their decision regardless, but what you guys are doing isn't against the law either. What you're doing, Maebara-kun, is not a mistake. Don't give up. Do all you can. I'll support you too. Thank you very much. We went there yesterday and today, and we're going to go there tomorrow too. I believe we can save her as long as we don't give up. 3 days in a row, huh? I heard you took 20 people with you today. You're going to take that many tomorrow too? Hehehe. Kai-chan's really talented when it comes to stuff like this. You'll be surprised. There's going to be 60 people tomorrow. My, that's amazing. I can see you becoming an active labour union leader when you grow up. The head of our union's pretty deplorable. At that moment, I heard someone clapping. It was almost 9 PM. The meeting was over, ages ago. Everyone returned to their seats and listened to each section head's report on what they discussed. You're incredible, Kaiichi. You know so many people from the village. Oh, it was supposed to be over ages ago. But there are even more people that I don't know. You sure? You were talking with so many of them. I really am impressed. They're such nice people. Maybe I should be more involved with them too. You should. Hinamizawa is all about helping each other. I know you're busy with your work, but you should be involved as much as you can. I'm going to talk with your mother about that, I think. That's it for the meeting today. It's confusing to decide who's saying what because they haven't got like a name next to it or an avatar or a lot of the time. That's it for the meeting today. Next meeting is tomorrow. See you all then. It'll be the last major meeting before the festival. Thank you for coming today. Chairman, will you give us some closing remarks? No, it's fine. Let's just go home and get some drinks. That's it for now. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Everyone laughed at Mayor Kimiyoshi's closing remarks. We finished clearing up, and everyone began filing out of the building. Even though it was a weekday, some of them were going out for drinks. They asked my dad to go along with them. My dad isn't an ordinary worker. He can sleep in if he wants to, as long as he makes his deadlines. Kaiichi, they want me to come for a drink, so I'm going, okay? Sure, have fun. I'm heading home now. Going home alone was kinda sad, so I thought I'd walk home with Mion, but she was still lingering at the meeting talking with the mayor and other important people. She was probably busy, with the festival being so near. As I contemplated whether to wait for her or not, Ooishi-san came up to me. Good job with the meeting. How'd you get here? I can give you a ride home if you want. I came here on my bike. Plus, I'm waiting for Mion. I see. You'll be waiting for a while though. They're discussing the trouble they had with the refreshment booth team. Oh? Trouble with the refreshment booth team? It seems like such a fun festival, but they still have some issues, huh? Oh yes. It's hard to make adjustments this late. Shaved ice and yakisoba are always popular, so everyone wants to do those. Okay, I'm back. They need to make those kinds of adjustments, so there will be a variety of booths, but people get upset when they have to run a booth that's not going to make much money, you know? They suggest running the booths in rotation every year, but some people don't have enough staff to do certain kinds of booths, and other people claim that their yakisoba is better than everyone else's. They also fight about locations and who to hire, etc, etc. I had no idea that the preparations for a festival were so complicated. Everything needs adjustments. I guess it sounds like boring adult talk for a young man like yourself. But adjustments are necessary to make things go smoothly. What you're doing at the Child Consultation Center is a secret adjustment, in a way. Sadako-san and Tepe-san don't even know about it. Ugh, I guess, you might be right. But we have no choice but to raise our voices. That's the only option we've got. No, I'm proud to see you do something like this. If I was your age, all I'd be able to think of is attacking him in the dark. Well... Ooishi must have had no other plans. He stuck around while I waited for Mion. There was no one else around at the time of night. It would have felt pretty lonely if he hadn't been there with me. I'm glad Ooishi stayed to chat. We talked about Mahjong for a while. Its theory, techniques, history. I rarely talked with a guy his age, so it was very interesting for me. Alright, I'm back again. Sorry, there's just people shouting around the house, you know. It's nice to interact with people from a different generation sometimes. He's also a police officer. I was secretly hoping that he'd give me a hint about how to save Satoko. In any case, I had to wonder what was taking me on so long. By the time Ooishi-san finished the second cigarette, I started to think that maybe I should just go home for the night. I think I'm gonna head home. Mion's taking too long. I have something big to take care of after school tomorrow. Go to the child consultation center, you mean? Yes. I'm gonna fight until they come up with a plan to save Satoko. Consistency is important. This is all we can do. Ooishi-san smiled upon hearing my passionate words. I bet the child consultation center understands your point by now. You know, there's a limit to what you can do. It's important to know when to quit. If you go too far, it will only make things more complicated. But I can't just let Satoko suffer. Of course you can't. I'm sure that the child consultation center won't leave her be either. They will help her. They might help her, but probably only after she gets hurt. If Satoko suffers irreversible mental trauma, it'll be too late. Ooishi took out his third cigarette. That meant he was going to stay here until he finished it. I didn't feel like waiting here with him though. I just wanted to go home and relax so I could prepare for tomorrow. I'm going home now. You know, Maibara-san, there's something I wanted to tell you. The tone of his voice had changed slightly. Whatever it was, it sounded important. I stopped and turned back around to face him. Actually, you see, I don't think you should go to the child consultation center tomorrow. You've made your point already. But we need to do this so we can save Satoko. They aren't getting how urgent the situation is. We have to make even more of a fuss if that's what it takes for them to understand. I think we'll make a bigger impact if we go there 3 days in a row. You're trying to show them every courtesy, huh? But you know, Maibara-san, sometimes you should just let sleeping dogs lie. What? Let me make this clear. This isn't a warning from the police, and no one told me to tell you this. I'm just giving you advice as your Mahjong friend. The word advice didn't sound pleasant at all. I felt myself frowning involuntarily. Do you know what the child consultation center is thinking? You guys showed up 2 days in a row, and you brought 20 people with you today. They're afraid they'll show up again tomorrow. Then why don't they just listen to us? I hope they're not planning to build a barricade so we can't get in the building tomorrow. No, they won't do that. Their job's to listen to these claims. They'll accept anyone who's come to make an appeal. They can't stop you from coming, no matter how many times you show up. They know that too, so they need to take care of the matter before you bring even more people and cause even more trouble. You mean, have they already made the decision to save Satoko? Not quite. They've started making secret adjustments so that you can't come by to pressure them anymore. What do you mean? They made a secret adjustment so that I couldn't bother them anymore. I felt confused, and Ooishi-san said something that almost sounded like a line from a political drama. These officials sometimes act a bit like the Yakuza. They don't want their badge disrespected. It's normal for them to ignore opinions opposing the decisions they've made, even if they realise their office is in the wrong. So if they listen to us, other people will come to the office to get their cases taken care of. That's exactly it. They don't want people challenging their decisions. They will listen to your appeal, but they'll never change their stance unless there's something odd going on. Plus, this time Satoko-san's case is nothing special or noteworthy to them. He may have taken her away from where she lived, but it's a legal act, since he has parental rights. It's not like a parent without custody, forcing his child to live with him. After all, he's the only blood relative she has. There's nothing, legally speaking, that prevents them from living together. But that's not the case with Satoko and her uncle. You know that too. You know how violently he abused her last year. That was last year. Child Consultation Center can't do anything about it if he tells them that he feels remorse over what happened then. And more than anything, Satoko-san told them he's not abusing her. That's because last year Satoko relied on her brother. She deeply regrets overburdening him. So far as she's concerned, seeking help feels like she's betraying her brother. I see. It might be very difficult to persuade the Child Consultation Center in that case. Well, anyway, for reasons like that, the center can't understand why you and your group is pressing this issue so hard. We're just trying to let them know that Tepe is a violent person, that we can't let Sadako stay with him. But why? You weren't here in Hinazawa last year. I don't think you know much about Tepe-san. Why are you so sure that he's that dangerous? That was a hard question to answer. He was right. I didn't know much about Tepe. I'd never even seen his face. But I just know. Way back in a different world. I didn't save Sadako. I just stood by and... I've seen the world where Sadako was irreversibly broken. We all cried and regretted it. I couldn't explain that to Ooishi though. My friends had understood my premonition. But it's weird for someone to be so aggressive just based on what he saw in his imagination. I mentioned it earlier, but sometimes a divorced couple battles for the custody of their child. The couple can sue each other, and sometimes their relatives sue the couple too. Some of them decide to sue their partner not for the child, but just because they hate them. This case is a bit similar to something like that. It looks as though you're taking the actions you are because you hate Tepe Hojo. The Child Consultation Center needs to determine if you're doing this out of hate, or out of genuine concern towards Sadako-san. Not all people go to the center out of goodwill like you. They can only make a decision after carefully determining if the information given by the petitioner is genuine or not. You need to understand that. So you're saying that because I was too direct with them, they've mistaken my appeal as one born of ill will? No, you don't have to worry about that. Just please try to understand that they have to evaluate it carefully. If they put a child under protection every time they get a report, the nation would careen out of control. That's right. I think there was a passage in the civil law book the centre showed us that first day. The family or the prosecutor must make an appeal to the family court. Family issues have to be resolved within the family. An outside appeal might move the centre to take action, but an outsider can't tell them how to respond. And when it comes to that, Sadako's only family is her uncle. Since her uncle obviously wasn't going to do anything about this, Sadako would have to seek help on her own. But Sadako is denying that she's been abused at all. This isn't going anywhere. The consultation centre is simply hoping that you will give up. They have other cases that need more urgent attention, but they're not sure yet if they should ask you to give up. That's what I wanted to tell you today. What do you mean? I don't get it. Maibara-san, when you visited them today, did they treat you better than yesterday? Yeah, a bit. We were taken to a bigger room and the manager came to see us too. You might think that the manager is ranked just a little bit above the regular staff members. However, his position is as high as that of a section chief in a regular company. It's very difficult to achieve that position. The person you talked to today is actually a very powerful man, more than you could imagine. It's not normal for them to do that. The manager normally never shows up for consultation. You need to recognize that the treatment you got today was a very special one. It never seemed that special to me. I thought we were taken to a big room because we went there with more people, and Renner told them to adjust to us. Because you were so well organized, you're suspecting that you're not the actual leader, that the Sonzaki family are the ones behind this movement. I'm sure you know how powerful the Sonzaki family is in this village. I do. But it has nothing to do with the Sonzaki family. We're simply fighting to save our friend. Mion hasn't even mentioned her name. That's what the Child Consultation Center wanted to know. It's their normal routine to politely refuse a huge crowd of petitioners. However, things would be different if this was Oyu Sonzaki-san's idea. Oyu-san holds great sway in the city's government. No one can go against her wishes. I'm aware that Mion's grandmother is very powerful, but has nothing to do with us. In order to make that clear, the local government officials have approached the Sonzaki family in secret. They met Oyu-san and asked her about this case. They were going to take action if they found out that it was her idea, but they soon discovered otherwise. So they're not going to take any action anymore? It's not just that. Oyu-san's now aware that there's a commotion going on within the village. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but some people in the village still hold a grudge against the Hojo family, the traitors of the damn conflict. Ever since the curse of Orishiro-sama, the Sonzaki family has been telling people not to interact with the Hojo family. You might wake up a sleeping dog if you continue to make all the noise. What happens if I wake the dog up? I don't know. Ooishi paused for a while and drew on his short cigarette. I'm not saying you'll be threatened or that they will hurt you. However, you just moved here and you're starting to get to know people from the village, but soon enough you might get to see the underside of the place. The issues between the Hojo family and Sonzaki family. Well, village-wide matters have been slightly taboo in our group, but we may have to go down that road now. It's a fact that we haven't got any support from adults, except for the school teachers in Irie. Other adults in the village must know what happened between Sadako and Tepe last year. They all understand that it would be a disaster if we don't rescue Sadako as soon as possible. However, no adult came forward to us. If we continue our movement, will the people who hate the Hojo family become our enemies too? I'm starting to lose talking. Can't talk. That's possible. The Sonzaki family may get involved if we continue this commotion. You could say that Sonzaki family is anti-Hojo. If you try to save Sadako-san using people from Hinamizawa, that shows huge disrespect towards the Sonzaki family. It could create a huge problem. By that point I knew. This was a warning, not just advice. An ignorant young man in Hinamizawa is making noise, trying to wake up a sleeping dog. I know you've taken a liking to this place and that you're really doing your best here. That's why I thought I should let you know about this. I'm sorry if I upset you. I love Hinamizawa. I've made this decision to make this place my home. I'm motivated about the big job I got for the festival too. Would it really be wise for me to try and create all this trouble? I'm just speaking as your friend, nothing more. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything like that. I'm not trying to make you do anything you don't want to. I just wanted to give you this information. Ooishi smiled at me and stomped on his cigarette. I thought I had just made the decision to do what was right. But was that only the stupid idea of an ignorant little boy? Did I need to grow up right now and think about this again? Dark clouds hung over my heart. But wait a minute. Did that mean I didn't even have the courage to risk losing something? Was I not brave enough to save Satoko at all? I had to be the red fire. I couldn't give up, even if everybody else did. I had to fill other people up with righteous flames, just like I was. What's the matter? What a bold smile you're wearing right now. Thank you for the valuable advice, but I can't give up, no matter what you tell me. I won't stop even if the whole world tells me to. Even if the whole world is against you. You're a stronger man than I thought. If the whole world is telling me that I'm making a mistake, I'll have to stop and reevaluate myself. However, I've already talked about Sato's case with my friends over and over again. This isn't just my idea. I'm confident that that decision is the very best one to make. I agree with you, my Bao-san. Young people like you tend to make hasty and dangerous decisions. However, all of you are being very rational about this. You're making a democratic appeal. Just like Dr. Irie was saying, there's nothing wrong with your methods. I know. I'm positive that we're not making any mistakes. We're doing our best to save our friend. We're not going to give up just because we feel threatened. We're her true comrades. Have faith in us, even if the rest of the world doesn't. That's what friendship is all about. You have a strong will. Not even my detectives are as strong as you are. Ooishi-san gave me a wicked grin of admiration. I could tell from that grin. He wasn't trying to pressure me at all. It was exactly the opposite of that. He had shared this information with me to confirm that I was ready to face the challenge. I didn't even have to consider whether his words were advice or a warning. Every man has many things he wants to keep believing in, even if others don't share that belief. Of course, it's important to listen to advice with sincerity, but some beliefs you still can't turn away from. That's what being a man is all about. I also have a strong will, you know. About 5 years ago, a person who was like a brother to me was killed. He was murdered? The case was declared solved, but I'm continuing an investigation alone, because I suspect there's another person in control behind the scenes. The department told me that I was wasting my time. They told me to stop. But just like you, I can't give up. You're getting close to finding out who did it? I don't know about that. Anyway, if your resolve is that strong, then there's nothing for you to fear. Just follow through on your beliefs. I'm often threatened to show more restraint if I want to keep my full retirement paid to myself, but I've never given in. There's a lot of things we men can't convey without being unwavering. My, exactly right. We can't give up no matter how risky it will be. It's important to pursue your goal, and even if you end up playing into their hand, that's what being a man's about. If you're going down, then go down fighting. You're right, waffling between whether to go or go back isn't the attitude of a real man. That's how a man should be. We bumped our fists together, reaffirming that real men are the same regardless of their generation. It wouldn't be a simple road to saving Sadako, but I was never going to give up. I was going to save her. I had no doubts about that. Oh, it's all been confirmed. So we're going to have another chapter trying to save Sadako. Oh my god. But it has got more interesting lately. That's my thing. I do find this sort of stuff to do with saving Sadako a bit dragged out, but Magician of Words, that's the achievement this time. But I do find the Sadako stuff a bit dragged out in this arc and in the question arc for Sadako. But yeah, it has got a bit more interesting. there's a lot of hope building, right? Anyway, new tips. No relations. This must be the Child Consultation Center, is it? Please hold on a moment, I'll get her. Oyu-san, someone from the municipal government is calling. Ah, hello? Hello, Sonsaki-san. This is Aida from the municipal government. Oh, it's the old woman. Thank you very much for the ohagi the other day. You're quite welcome. Thank you for your work at the Culture Festival. Also for providing that large parasol. How much does that thing cost? We use it every year, so we might as well buy one ourselves. We borrowed that one from a teacher. I checked out the price, but the domestically made ones cost about 200,000 yen. I also found one made in China. It's less than half the price. I don't care if it's made in China or not. Just get one so we don't have to cause any more trouble for the teachers. We're actually ordering it already. Once it arrives, you might want to take a look at it and make a final decision. Also, we've been holding the same Edo-style tea ceremony for the past 3 years. We should probably get an instructor from a different style. Can you look for a new instructor for next year? Oh, I see. Will do, ma'am. We'll find a different tea ceremony instructor. About that, advisor, I had something else to ask you about. Here we go. Here's me going on about a parasol. What do you need? We were wondering if you've heard anything about the case of Sadako Hojo-san in Hinamizawa. Sadako Hojo? Huh? You're talking about that blasted Hojo girl? What did she do? Well, she's recently moved in with her uncle, but she's been abused apparently. Have you heard anything about it? Your uncle? Sadako's been abused? I've never heard of anything like that. Oh, well, if you don't know, that's okay. To tell you the truth, someone from Hinamizawa came to petition to the Child Consultation Center. According to the center, that petitioner was very persistent. The manager felt that it was better to talk with you, if you already knew about it. I don't know anything. I don't care. Why would I do anything for that pitiful child? The Sonsaki family has nothing to do with this. Have you heard anything about it from the town council? No. What are you saying? If Kimiyoshi was helping that blasted Hojo child, then Sonsaki family would know about it. Who's petitioning the Child Consultation Center? I heard some of her classmates were there. As far as I know, anyway. Guess it's just something that her classmates are doing. The village has nothing to do with it. Of course not. I don't know anything. The village has nothing to do with Sadako. The contents of this conversation were forwarded to the Child Consultation Center. If Oyu wasn't behind the commotion, then he had no need to take the case seriously. Oh no! The manager told his staff to listen to what the petitioners have to say, but to never say anything promising the girl's safety. Kaichimai Barakun, huh? I guess a boy like that will grow up to be a political advocate in the future. Oh no, they're not taking it seriously because Granny didn't do anything. Send in the brat back. It had been 3 days since he told her to stay home. He got another call from that annoying teacher again, so he yelled at her, hung up the phone. That woman's too persistent, Teppei thought. She won't give up that easily. He was sure that she'd call the Child Consultation Center again. The biggest reason why Teppei refused to let Sadako go to school was his fear that she'd seek help when going there. She pretended like nothing was wrong when the social worker from the Child Consultation Center showed up, but that was only because he was right beside her. She'd probably betray him as soon as she got her chance. Then the consultation center would show up immediately. No, maybe even the police would come and get him for assaulting Sadako. One of his friends had told him that the consultation center works with the police sometimes. Teppei had a lot of weight on his shoulders. Poor guy. If the police came, they'd end up questioning him about the other trouble he was involved in. He couldn't let that happen. All he needed was the money. Teppei could leave this awful village behind as soon as he found his brother's bank book. Teppei usually stayed at home, as he found the way the other villagers looked at him unpleasant. So when playing mahjong with his friends, he played it at Sadako's house. But mahjong requires at least 4 people. When Teppei couldn't get that many people to come over, he just stayed home alone and watched TV instead. He started using this ample free time to sniff around the house for his treasure. Sadako would end up cleaning the mess he made. Besides, it wasn't his home anyway. What did it matter to him how much furniture he broke? He cleared out the closet, went up to the attic, God, pulled out all the chests and searched them thoroughly. His wife had been a pretty clever woman. She must have hid it somewhere very unusual. He messed up the whole first floor, and went up to the second floor to search some more. Next moment, Sadako went and tried to tackle him. Not Nini's room. What the hell? No, you can't go inside Nini's room. Teppei immediately assumed that she was hiding the bank book in there. He threw her off and forced his way inside the room. However, Sadako tried to stop him with all of her might. It was amusing for Teppei to see Sadako resisting him to that extent, but it also surprised him a little. He asked her why she didn't want him to go into Satoshi's room. That room belongs to Nini. Nini will be hurt if he comes home and sees his room destroyed. Ugh. You don't want me there just because it's your brother's room? You don't even know if he's still alive. Nini's alive. He'll come back home. Wah! Don't destroy his room. What are you saying? I'm not going to destroy the room. I'm just trying to clean it up. Why would you have to save this room for someone who's not here anymore? I need to clean it up. No. No, you can't. Nini. The hell? You really don't want me to go inside, huh? Sadako's crazed behaviour convinced him that he should stop provoking her for the moment. While Tepe was very talented at threatening people, despair makes cowards courageous. If he ignored Sadako and tore apart the room, she might just run away. He didn't want Sadako to be nearby, but he also couldn't let her run loose. Fine then, if you promise to be a good girl, I won't go inside this room. Alright? Got it? Yes. But if you make me mad, I'm gonna rip this room apart. If you escape from this house or tell people about what's happening, everything in this gonna end up in the garbage. Garbage. Get it? Yes. Thank you for giving me a chance. Tepe was sure the bank book was inside Satoshi's room, but Sadako would lose it if he went inside. He wasn't pleased about the promise he made with her, but at least it would keep Sadako under control. It might not hurt him to send her off to school. If he kept her home again tomorrow, that teacher might come to the house with the police in tow. He was only keeping her at home because he was afraid that Sadako might talk to other people. If she wasn't going to do that, it'd be better for him to send her to school. He could sneak into Satoshi's room while she was out. Sadako, you've been a good girl, so I guess the cold's all better now. Go back to school tomorrow. Thank you so much. He was the one who told her to say thank you when he gives her approval to do something, but it annoyed him to hear her say it over and over. Get out of my sight, you little brat. Gah! You're so annoying. And that's why she's going to school. Blackmailed. If she's good, she can go to school. And her brother's room won't be messed up or even entered. Or she hopes, I guess. Anyways, this has been GreenXI. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we get on to chapter 9 and we see how all this continues. I feel like I'm just saying that every time. And that's because I am. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. See you again in a bit. Oh, chapter 8 next, sorry. In a bit.